Now, I get some heat sometimes because I don't believe that there's enough evidence to show the Democratic Party actually went in and manipulated votes and changed votes during the primaries, okay? But I do believe that they did go ahead and change the debate schedule. They did affect which polling stations were closed and not closed. And they did everything they could to make sure that their favorite candidate, Hillary Clinton, won. And so I don't want to get into the definitions of rigged or not rigged, but was it obvious that the DNC wanted Hillary Clinton to win? Of course. You could read the emails, you could see their actions. Let's put debates in the middle of the night against football and have as little as possible, because God forbid we should have the national spotlight and want to get our own progressive ideas out. The Republicans will have 58 debates and they will pound Republican messages home. We'll have 6 debates and try to wrap this thing up because we love Hillary Clinton. That is super obvious at this point. So that's the past. But now they have a very interesting trick that they are planning to play for 2020. And I want to give you a heads up on it so that we're not trying to scramble fighting this well after it's already passed and 3 years down the road. So they want to move up the California primary. Now, why do they want to do that? That seems innocuous. Let me read you the quote from Politico here. If adopted by the legislature this week, as is widely expected, and signed into law by Governor Jerry Brown, the early primary would allocate California's massive haul of delegates just after the nation's first contests in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina. Now look, I live in California. I'd like California to have a bigger voice. That sounds pretty good, okay? So what's the issue here? Just think about it for a second. Who's from California? Oh right, the person that all the Hillary Clinton donors and staffers are flocking to, Kamala Harris. In fact, here, let's quote Politico, and they don't point this out at all. They're just giving facts like, oh, this is a wonderful, interesting legislation. They have no opinion on it. I'm the one connecting the dots here. So the earlier primary could benefit at least 2 potential presidential contenders from California, United States Senator Kamala Harris and Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, while jeopardizing the prospects of other candidates who will struggle to raise enough early money to compete in expensive media markets in the nation's most populous state. Look, is it all a smoke-filled room plot to make sure Kamala Harris wins? I don't think, I never believe in smoke-filled rooms. I don't believe in conspiracies. I believe that it is people serving their self-interest that wind up getting to this situation, even if it's not Kamala Harris. And my jury's out on her policies, so I'm not dead set against her. I just know that it is a noteworthy that a lot of the Hillary donors and staffers are flocking to her potential campaign. That's all. It doesn't mean that her positions are bad. But even if it's not her, you move the California primary up with all of those votes on the line, most populous state. Well, if it's not Bernie Sanders, which progressive is going to have enough name recognition early enough to be able to compete in California? Which progressive is going to have enough money early enough in the primaries to compete in California? In fact, Don Fowler knows this. Don Fowler is Clinton 101. He is a former head of the DNC and totally team establishment, team Clinton. Fowler says, in all probability, the winner of the California primary would be the nominee. So this is not an accident. This is not, oh golly gee, I don't know anything about this. No, it's Don Fowler going, let's move up the California primary. And by the way, who else is in California? The power brokers that would help decide this election. Dianne Feinstein, totally against single payers, totally against progress, totally against change. No, maybe later. Jesus, Senator Feinstein, what are you, 84? When is later? Nancy Pelosi, not single payer, nope, not in favor of it. Nope, we're gonna do gradualism, we're gonna do the establishment. I'm really good at raising money. And so they will help decide our nominee. Great, can't wait. More about the money. First, candidates who are able to raise more money early on will likely welcome the change, since California is a notoriously expensive state in which to compete due to its size and multiple television markets. So if you're gonna do the Bernie Sanders strategy and you're not Bernie Sanders and you don't have the name recognition, you need time to build up your campaign. They saw that unfold in 2016. They saw that he got stronger and stronger as he went along. His fundraising got bigger and bigger as it went along. If you put the giant California primary in the beginning of that process instead of at the end of that process, good night, Irene. You're never gonna be able to raise enough money to run ads in California. The state's too big, the markets are too big. Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. This is not a coincidence. You put the California primary that early and you're rigging it for the establishment. And so how do populist progressives win? They do what's called retail campaigning. You meet more people, you do rallies like Bernie did, and you build up momentum. And again, political doesn't mean this at all. They never talk about the establishment in the piece. They just lay these things out like innocently. Okay, so they say, and they go back to Fowler. Fowler said that a retail candidate cannot compete in California. It's just physically and financially impossible. So it's not like the Clinton ally doesn't know what he's pushing for here. He does know, and he's almost joyous about it. Like, you're never gonna catch on to this. And why would California not wanna move up their primary and have more say? It's an easy win, and then once we get to the primaries, we're gonna go, oh, did a progressive candidate not have enough time to win all those ballots in California? Golly gee. So if you're in California, no, say no. I know it's tough to say no, but don't worry about your self-interest. Worry about what the right thing to do here is. And by the way, if Bernie does run, which is still a very good chance that he will, he'll win California easily. He has more name recognition than even the California senators like Kamala Harris. And so I don't know if he's gonna run, but even so, it's not fair. And by the way, it wouldn't be fair to even anyone running against Bernie Sanders. The reason Hillary Clinton won the last primary is because Bernie couldn't close the lead. He closed a 60-point lead, but he couldn't close it quick enough because Hillary Clinton had overwhelming name recognition and in the beginning had overwhelming money. How is anyone going to beat Bernie Sanders, or if he's not running, an establishment candidate with all that money and all that name recognition that quickly? They're not gonna be able to. So the establishment might be unwittingly setting a trap for themselves, thinking Bernie's not gonna run, and we're gonna steamroll any other progressive that doesn't have enough name recognition. I understand the trick. So, they talk about three-dimensional chess and never play it. This actually is three-dimensional chess, and it is being played out 3 years ahead of time. But we see you, so I vote no. Even if it were to help Bernie, on principle, I vote no. So look, I don't know that, God, they sprung it just like that. I mean, it was so quick. I don't know that you've got enough time to go talk to your legislators in California and tell them to vote no. Man, they got 1,000 tricks up their sleeves. And it's never about getting enough votes or convincing enough people that they have the right policies. It's just about how do we move the levers of power to get our guys in the office, right or wrong? Well, at least now, because of the internet, we see you. Watch the Young Turks commercial-free, download it or stream it, watch it any way you like at tytnetwork.com/join.